Good evening, Facebook Live. Good evening, powerful parents, powerful teachers, powerful aunties and uncles and grandparents, and everyone out there who takes it seriously, the influence and the effect they have on children. Welcome to this broadcast. Sorry I'm a couple of minutes late. Hey there, Marianne. What's this piece of hair doing here? Hello. It's going to be a quick one tonight. I'm actually in the process of packing. We go to Cairns tomorrow. I'm very excited. Go spend some time with my mama bear. And it's my partner's birthday in a couple of days. So, yeah, we're going to be going up to Cairns. So I'm going to get this done quick because I haven't even started packing. But it doesn't need too much anyway. Hello there, everyone. I see you all. Say hi. Let me know you're here. Let's just get started. There's a whole bunch of you on here already. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. And obviously those who... Hello there, Mama Bear. Nice to see you on the line. I'll see you tomorrow. Cool. Okay, so... this is the second week of the What Not to Say series. So we've covered a lot of information on what to say to our children, and now I want to go through over the next probably 4 to 6 weeks what not to say series and why. Thanks, Craig. Good. So tonight is why do you do that? Now just think for a second, how many of you always go like, why did you do that? You know, let's say your kids, hit each other, or they spit, or they, they just do something that you don't like, they shout, or they take something away from another child, or whatever it might be, or they draw on the wall, or they jump on the couch, or whatever it could be. And we say, why did you do that? How many of you are guilty of that? Yeah, if you're guilty of that, sometimes it takes too long to do comments. So just hit your like button or your love button or whatever it might be. Now, here's what happens. Here's why I'm saying not to say these words. Why did you do that? Is often it's often used by adults that are just wanting to fix blame and deliver criticism. That's really our true intent behind it. We're not genuinely asking, why did you do that? Honestly, why did you do that, honey? What happens is, well-intended adults, I'm not saying it's your intentions, but we're looking for an opportunity to fix blame and to deliver criticism. And when kids hear the word, pretty much they learn that when they hear the word why, it's a prelude to criticism. So they already begin to get defensive. When we say, why did you do that? Why did you do that? What happens is the child doesn't hear us say, why did you do that? What they hear at a subconscious level is, why are you so stupid? Why are you so dumb? Why are you so bad? Why do you make such bad choices? And so they take it as an attack and they become defensive. And what happens is it creates anxiety and defensiveness in the child. And then it's like they've got their back. It's like we end up putting their back against the rope. You think about it. You think if you do something, at work, or let's say you play sport and you make an error and your coach says, why did you do that? Like, why would you make that pass? Why didn't you pass it? Why did you shoot instead of passing, or whatever it might be? And you get pinned down asking, why did you do that? And the truth is, we don't even know why. It's like, I don't know. I guess that's what I thought of doing at the time. And when you think about what to do, you're not thinking about why you're going to do it. You just think about what you're thinking about. You don't think about why you're thinking about what you're going to do. And so what happens is there's no answer. There truly isn't an answer to that question. All it creates is a power struggle. It's like, well, you know what? Now, so parent to child, it's like, well, now I have power over you because I've asked a question and you can't answer it. And for as long as you can't answer it, I'm right and you're wrong. So your back's up against the rope and you can't get out of this now because you haven't got an answer that I'm going to accept. Now, here's the thing. Second to that, because it puts them in a state of anxiety because they're just pinned against the ropes and they have to come up with an answer. Number one, they're either going to lie to you and give you an answer that they think you want to hear. Secondly, they probably don't even know why they did it in the first place. They just did. It's normally a reaction. It's not a thought process with a response. It's just a reaction. And thirdly, in a state of anxiety, we are unable to think of any ideas. The idea center in our brain shuts down. That part that would go to that next creative thought and go, yeah, why did I do that? Let me reflect on that for a moment. Why? And actually deliver a true answer. We are unable to reach that in a state of anxiety. Here's why. Let me give you the background on this so that you understand any time you put your child in any state of anxiety or any state of feeling like there's a power struggle here and I'm wrong until I can prove myself right, you're never going to get any thoughtful responses from them, ever. And here's why. In a state of anxiety, our brain is programmed for survival, because hundreds of millions of years ago when we lived off the land, if we were designed that way. Our brain was designed that way for survival. As soon as there's a state of anxiety, it tells the brain you are under threat. And when you are under threat, it is the brain's primary responsibility to just keep you safe and stop you from dying. So it shuts down all other areas of the brain. Imagine this. Imagine if it's hundreds of millions of years ago when we were first invented, and you're on the land and there's a big bear chasing you. The bear thinks you look like a healthy lunch. You are instantly put into a state of anxiety to help keep you safe. Your brain doesn't allow you right now to think any other thoughts, to think any new ideas, to think, oh, how pretty is that tree that I'm running past. It just gives you one focus and one focus only. How do I survive? How do I find a safe place to hide? There's no time for new ideas right now. There's no time to be creative, and there's no time for thought. Just stay safe. So in a state of anxiety, you can't think. Even if you're up the street, you can be going along the street sometimes and you hear someone call your name from behind and you turn around and they're like, hey, Holly, how are you? And they're walking towards you and you're like, oh, shit. I don't know your name. I forgot your name. And you're trying to remember their name before they get to you. And you can't remember it, and you have to try to cover it up a little bit, and you know who they are, but you can't remember their name, and so you feel a bit rude. You cover it up. The second you finish that conversation and you walk away, boom, the name comes back. That doesn't happen by accident. In that first instance, you're in a state of anxiety. Your brain cannot think a new thought. It can't access memory. It can't access new information or new ideas. Okay, so. The words, why did you do that, can be so useful. I just want to teach you how and when to use them. Asking your child at the time, why did you do that, creates nothing but a power struggle, and it will not build a feeling of closeness or safeness between you and your child. If anything, it'll only put more distance between you, because they'll just never feel safe. They'll feel like you're always on top of them. And as soon as they hear that coming, it's an instant criticism and it creates instant fear. Okay? So, now, there is a time that is really effective to use the words, why did you do that? And here's when that is. Never at the time that it's happened. Later on, if you truly, as a parent, if you genuinely want to know, why did my child do that? Why did they make that choice? What is it that they're going through? What are their thought processes that I can help them with to make some better choices? I genuinely want to understand what it is that's maybe building up in them, or what it is that causes that reaction, or what it is that creates that outburst of anger. If it's a genuine question, then you'll ask it genuinely, and you won't need to never ask it on the spot. Okay, so what you do is you let the moment go, because here's the thing, guys, isn't this true? Even if they gave you an answer as to why they hit someone or spat on someone or pinched someone or took a toy or created an issue, even if they somehow came up with an answer, how does that matter anyway? If knowing why they did something doesn't matter, then don't ask. Address the behavior. Next time, I want to see you make a better choice. Next time, focus on the next, that wasn't a good choice, and here's what you need to do next time. But we don't need to go into why you did that this time. It just draws more attention to the behavior you don't want anyway, and puts them in a trap. Okay, so you ask later on. If you genuinely want to know why your child is doing something, ask them later. Let it all cool down, leave it for a few hours, wait till that night or even the next day and say, honey, mummy wants to have a talk to you, or daddy wants to have a talk to you for a minute. Yesterday, or this morning when you pinch your sister, or the last week there's been 3 or 4 times that you've thrown toys or whatever. Why is it, do you think, that you do that? What is it that happens at the time? And in that moment, the child isn't feeling like you've got them up against the ropes, because otherwise they just feel like they've got no way out. You've just got free aim at them. All right, and so ask them, what is it you did? What is it you're going through? Or what is it that I can help you with? Or what is your thought process at that time? But they're not in trouble for it, and so because they're not in trouble, they don't feel anxiety. They're not put into a position where they have to defend themselves. They're not put into a position where they feel like it's this little power struggle, this little battle between the two of you, and you can genuinely help take them through their processes. Most often they don't know what else to do. In that moment, there is no other thought in their mind. They don't even have an option. Should I do 1 or should I do option 2? They just have option 1, boom, and they carry it out. So that's my message tonight. If you genuinely want to know why did you do that, never ask at the time. Ask it later. Let all the emotion die down. And if you don't genuinely want to know why they're doing something, then don't ask that question. I'm not saying you can't correct the behavior. I'm not saying don't address the behavior. But when you say, why did you do that? Just remember that when you do that, you're putting the attention on the doer, not the deed. And for those of you who have followed me for a while, you know that when it comes to being able to discipline your children without killing their spirit, it's all about separating the deed from the doer, addressing the behavior, not the person. But when you say, why did you do that? It's not about the behavior. It's about you as a person. Why did you do that? And we need to keep it focused on their behavior, not them as a person. So there's no personal attack, but we can still address and correct their behavior. So we focus more on what to do next time. That was a bad choice. You've got thinking time. You can give them consequences for that, make them responsible for the choice they've made. But we don't need an answer to why did you do that? Because the answer doesn't matter anyway. What's more important is what will you do next time? How can we handle that better next time? As I always say, don't ever leave here the same person you were when you got here. Make sure something shifts and something changes in you every time you get access to any kind of new information. But it's not easy. It definitely takes a whole lot of courage to even be this conscious and to try to remind yourself to use this language, and to, in a moment when you're feeling angry about something, for you to be the one to be conscious enough to identify and be aware of your emotions so that it doesn't turn into a little attack and a little power struggle between you and your child. And it does take courage to be the one to go, hey, I can see what's going on here on a bigger scale. I'll just step back and I'll handle this properly. So as you depart from here with courage. The courage to believe in a better way. The courage to voice what you've got to say. The courage to thrive when times are tough. And above all else, the courage to know you are good enough. Good night, everyone.